So this is my dog Lily. Her schedule consists of barking, sleeping, and stealing shit that really doesn't belong to her. This time, she stole something that low-key sparked an idea. So to set the scene, I was working on this project where I make a sweater that looks like a lava lamp, but the inside is like this jean material, and she stole one of the pieces of the jean. It made me scratch the whole project, and instead I thought to just make a dog toy.
I'll make you a new toy with it.
To start, I'm using the same jean material that she wanted so badly. It was my Auntie Gloria's, who passed away a few months ago. She cared very much for me and my cousins every summer, and I miss her very much. I have her name even engraved on the inside of my ring that I wear every day. So the next step was to draw a nice picture of what I wanted the toy to look like. I thought of making it a fish, even though that's more of a cat thing, but it's because I've been learning Arabic recently, and the word semek has been really stuck in my head. It means fish in kind of like a dead eating type of way, and the word semeki means fish in an alive swimming type of way. So using this picture I found off of Pinterest, I feel I made a pretty simple design that I could just make the pattern myself, and I was right. I broke the design into a few simple parts and started to make a pattern stencil out of just normal paper. Once I finished the design, I made sure to add a huge seam allowance.
Okay, so I just realized something. So this is too small. So yeah, I made it the same width as one of these, but it has to be two of these. So it has to be 4 plus 2.5, and then I have to make the semicircle. So let me do that.
So moving back to seam allowance. Seam allowance is basically this extra bit of fabric that won't be visible on your garment. It sits on the inside, but it gives you room for error, because if you sew right on the edge, you don't really have any seam allowance, and your garment won't be strong and will probably break in like 2 seconds if you were to ever give it to a dog. Anyway, after the pattern was done, I had to make sure my fabric was nice and flat and not wrinkly so my fish doesn't look old. It also helps to prepare the fabric before you start cutting, so your fabric is nice and flat and all the parts will match. Now, my favorite part. Oh wait, no, I gotta chalk. Chalking is basically just making an outline of your stencil by using chalk instead of a marker, so it washes off easy. You also want to chalk rather than just cutting the fabric with the paper there, because sometimes you'll cut the paper and then your pattern is ruined the next time you want to use it. Once you finish chalking, it's my second favorite part, where you get to cut everything out. This might be the most satisfying part, at least in my opinion, because bro, if you have some nice scissors, the sound it makes as it cuts through the material is just therapeutic. Like, hear this.
What's that, brother?
Anyway, I cut the rest of the pieces, added clips to clip them all together, and then, now is my favorite part, the actual sewing. I swear, sewing is literally 10% of the process, but seeing shit actually come together is just amazing. First, I sewed the bottom to the top, and then the head. I did this so it would just have two big flat pieces that I could just sew together with the fin. After I got all the pieces together, I felt like it was a little bland. Yes, it looked like a fish, but I wanted it to connect more with the actual jeans. I wanted to build an extra stitching around the perimeter, just like an actual pair of jeans. This was going to be way harder than it looked because I had to take into account the seam allowance. If I sewn inside the seam allowance, you wouldn't see it. And I wanted it to be the same distance from this part to the sewn part. So I had to do a little bit of math. Luckily, I'm a business student, so it wasn't too hard. I just had to take the seam allowance, add the distance from here to here, and draw a parameter that distance. Later, I found I could just trace the outline with the right side of the presser foot, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I got this clean outline and it ended up working in the end, so get off my back. Wait. I forgot a part. These eyes. I just cut some circles, then used felt feet that you would put on the bottom of a chair. I just hand sewed them onto the plush. Pretty simple. Later, when I made a second version, I found a way better way of making it, where I just sewed it using the machine. But I'll show you that on my Instagram Reels or my TikTok, which, by the way, please follow me, Jared's Journal, on all platforms. Finally, I did my last ironing and got all the pieces ready. The last step is to sew it inside out. This is so you don't see all the seam allowance or any sort of mistakes I made on the inside. This is low-key the weirdest part, but then you grab a pencil or a marker or anything and just push out all the edges. Just such an Ayo activity. Literally rearranging bro's guts. Then I had to stuff them and finish it off with a ladder stitch. And now, for the grand reveal. And now some clips of Lily enjoying it. As you can see, Lily really liked the toy. It turned out really well. I loved it. I made a second one because, you know, Lily destroyed it in like 3 seconds. Like, what was I gonna do? So if you want to make your own, actually just leave a comment, and I'll probably be making a tutorial soon. So, I mean, if you want to subscribe, that would be great too. And, yeah, thank you for watching.